Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Yeah. Can you turn up my headphones, JB? Turn up my headphones. I can't hear in my headphones. Are you getting levels over there? JB, you good? I can't hear myself in the headphones, though, so turn me up if you can. Welcome to there we go. There it is. Welcome to the Lions 2-minute warning. There's 50 seconds left. The clock is running. It looks like the Miami Dolphins are going to pull this out 31-27. My name is Stick. This is Anson Wells. We are live at the Brass Rail. Thought it was going to be a celebratory afternoon. The champagne was getting ready to pop, and here we go again.
Yeah, we're looking at victory formation right now, and not for us.
No.
It started off real positive. I thought we had a chance. In fact, I sent you a meme or a little gif of somebody bungling their champagne, which is really what I was worried about. So I'm pretty happy with their performance today. I mean, the defense obviously is still a mystery and a real bad part of this team, but I do like the strides that the offense made when they were healthy. So I'm not too upset. I didn't think we were going to win this game. I thought we were going to lose worse. Where are you at with it?
I'm kind of with you. It was nice that the offense showed up again today, because that was kind of the biggest thing going into this game and like going into the last two games. When the Lions sucked and constantly lost, it was like, okay, at least we have half a team, right? We still got the number one offense in the league. They still can put up points. It's still entertaining to watch. Then they come out and don't score a touchdown for 8 quarters.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, now we have absolutely zero identity. We don't do anything well. We don't do anything well on defense. We don't do anything well on offense. We do have a good punter. We don't even use them. And to me, it's just nice that we finally have part of the team back. And it's progress, but it's a loss. I mean, it's still a loss. I feel better about this loss, but...
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect to win here. No one really did. I absolutely feel encouraged that when we're healthy, i.e. St. Brown, our best receiver, i.e. Mr. Swift, our best running back, having those two guys in the offense changes everything. We have a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde quarterback in Jared Goff.
No, we don't.
No, yeah, we do. Because,
God.
Let me explain.
This was another thing. I knew this was going to happen.
No. What I'm saying is this. When things are bad, he's very, very bad. There's a lot of quarterbacks that can kind of get through bad times because they can scramble or what have you. This guy, when things are good, he's actually an above-average quarterback. And so when he has the confidence to step up into his pocket and he feels the offensive line, he's got that step on his receiver has that step on the D-back. He's willing to take a little bit more chances. You saw a more confident, very accurate, and actually surprisingly effective quarterback through the majority of this game today.
None of it's surprising. Goff is a damn good quarterback, and all the haters that want to put blame on him when the team goes down and he tries to put him on the back and makes bad decisions doing that, that's when Goff is not a good quarterback, when he has to do too much. But this is Jared Goff. This is the Goff we've seen the majority of the season. So, to me, this was not a redemption game because I don't think people were, completely over him. But there are a lot of haters that were like, oh, Goff's the problem, Goff's the problem. Goff's not the problem. Yeah. If anything, Reynolds is the problem because of that drop in the end zone. That would have put us up by more going into the half. There's just a lot of things that Goff did right in this game that gets overlooked time and time again, and I'm sick of the Jared Goff slander. I literally told JB while we were watching the game, we should have a T-shirt that just said, Jared Goff is a good quarterback. That's it. It doesn't have to be a big statement. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Whether you believe it or not, shut the hell up. Jared Goff is a good quarterback.
Yeah, and the offense was good today. That's really what was most disheartening and worrisome over the last couple of weeks is where'd they go. And I think we have an answer. Is the two biggest pieces out there were gone. And everything fell to shambles after that. We had an opportunity to see what the team looks like rebounding from those injuries, fully healthy on the offensive side for the most part. And they can really kind of play with anybody offensively. Now, they sputtered in the second half, but to be able to put up 27 points, it's not the defense at that point. And we know that our defense is shorthanded before the season started. We know that they're even more shorthanded after some injuries, and they're just not playing well as a unit. Is it the coach? I don't know. I don't see them really mis-scheming or things like that.
When they're reading our starting lineup, it's almost like, all right, how many of these guys would start for other teams? I know who they are. I know who they are. I know who Alex Anzalone is, so much so that I know he would not start for another team. So, like, I get you're joking with the who thing. We know who they are. They're just, if you put them on 90% of the rosters, they're not starting. And by the way, we are live at the Brass Rail, downtown Detroit, for the Lions Postgame Show. My name is Stick. That is Anson. Thank you to everybody in the WoodwardSports.com chat. Everybody starts talking about tanking, losing these close games. You think this is a tank job that's being masterfully done to, like, convince us that they're actually trying?
I mean, we all knew we were going to be rolling a tank this year anyway. The difference between 2 wins, 3 wins, 5 wins, sure, you're talking about a first or second versus maybe a 7th pick, but either way, we're going to get a great player next year. We should be getting 2 of them. I don't want to talk about that yet. Can we at least get through week 10 before we start talking about who we're going to draft next year?
Yeah, and we can continue to talk about this game because I feel like this isn't a post game where we're sitting here like, just pissed off.
Good.
Dan Campbell evolved a little bit in this game. Obviously, the 4th and 2 bites us in the ass. So, like, that's my biggest thing about him, like, abusing the 4th down thing. He's spent, like, his first 17 games in the league and then, the first 5 going into this. The 4th down gods are going to get us for the rest of Dan Campbell's career, and that's what I feel. And we got burnt on a 4th down that we couldn't get. I did like the fake punt, and that's what those are there for.
Jack Fox was involved.
First of all, because Jack Fox is involved, anything Jack Fox is involved in is considered greatness.
It's like Michael Jackson turning stuff to platinum, man.
He just does what he does.
I brought up Jackson.
Yeah, you got things on your brain. But either way, when that call was made, that was a smart use of going for it on 4th down, right? That wasn't just, I'm bravado, pounding my chest, I can get it whenever I want. It was, hey, I've been conservative for the past couple games. People are not expecting this right now.
No.
And it was a surprise. Yeah. Isn't it amazing when you surprise people how much easier it is to pick up those 4th downs?
And it's set up, it was like a play action, really, because the last time they actually kicked the field goal on 4th and 3 when we were deep in their territory. Had an opportunity to, do what we do normally and see what we could do on 4th down. And we took the points. I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
And that set the tone. Okay, maybe, after what happened last few weeks, the whole season, maybe he got the memo and they're thinking, okay, it's going to be a conservative game. And it was a really well-timed fake punt. I liked it. The 4th down and 2, love to have it back. I'd love to see what a very conservatively called game for the Lions would look like after 60 minutes.
I don't hate that 4th down and 2 call because
I don't either.
The game's on the line. Do you put the game in your offense's hand or do you put it in your defense's hand?
You had to.
And that's, to me, that's the logic that I hope Dan Campbell is using because that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, listen, it's 4th and 2. I can either take a shot at the end zone with my offense or rely on my defense to get a stop. Yeah. We saw how well that worked out when they got the ball back. But do you like them being that aggressive on that 4th and 2 and going for a touchdown there?
No. No. We've proven that we haven't been able to get down the field all day today. We certainly haven't gotten down the field the 2 weeks prior. So take what we've been successful at. What's worked all game long has been the short stuff. That's what you need. It's the higher percentage play. If we're playing percentages here, you don't throw that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, but he did.
Well, this team has played percentages all year long. That's not the move there.
That's where you can analytic yourself to death. But on the flip side, if he makes that catch, all of a sudden he's a genius. Golf looks fantastic.
Yeah. It was a laser.
So it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things. But they did it. They didn't get the first down, and that's kind of the way the Lions season has gone. Those 4th downs, they're sacred, and we've turned them into whores. Like we just abuse them and use them whenever the hell we want. No, you got to be delicate with the fourth down. You got to save that 2-yard play in your back pocket where you only have 10 that are special. You know what I'm talking about, Anson. That's why you're laughing.
I've got the golden ticket.
Right. You don't just go out there and slang that fourth down dick. Like, you got to hold it back for the right ones.
I couldn't have said it better, my friend.
I'm a poet. You know that.
I know it.
Brass rail, tons of people leaving Ford Field right now. You can see them coming in here and taking off. And
it's hype in here, though. You know,
yep, the DJ's about to start, so it's going to be a party.
Detroit and the fans in the hot corner here, Brass Rail. Win or lose, home games are wild. And they're even good on the away games, but the home games, you got to come down here.
And, dude, before the game today, there was a girl wearing a Halloween costume with her guy, and the guy was, like, also in costume, but it looked like a normal dude. You know, so she just looked like the only one in costume. And there were not a lot of people in costume in Ford Field, even though we're days away from Halloween.
Yeah.
And I could see a dude being like, oh, no, babe, you can wear that. It's fine. It's close to Halloween. A lot of people will be wearing costumes. She shows up the only one in costume. But
I wore my spookiest throwback.
Spider Sally.
It's mildly spooky.
That is mildly spooky. What are you taking away from this game moving forward? Is this something that they can build on? Is this something that you feel like there's a little bit of confidence back in the squad?
Well, if you remember, I told you last week our win was going to be against Green Bay next week, a week from today.
Okay.
And I believe that, and after seeing what we were able to do today, reestablishing our offense, getting healthy, staying healthy, and it's going to come down to an offense that's been struggling, that's been unhealthy. I'm not sure if Alan Lazard is playing. I believe he's out this week. Their receiving core in Green Bay, they're a nightmare right now. So we have a legitimate chance. Oh, one of our favorites here. What's up, Puffy?
Puffy, Angie, Sheeto's in the house. Everybody's coming in now, man. It's going to be a party at the Brass Rail.
I needed to see what they did today for me to confidently stick to my guns and say that we're winning next week against Green Bay.
Okay.
Number 2 is going to be against the Lions' arch nemesis, Mr. Aaron Discount Double Check Rodgers.
The most hated man in the NFL, even by his own teammates.
Yeah, he's not liked.
I hate Aaron Rodgers, and I hope we beat them next week, but that's going to be a tough ask for anybody to try to play Aaron Rodgers and to get through.
Yeah.
But I needed this win as a Lions fan because I think everybody was starting to teeter off the Dan Campbell may not be the guy thing, right? And it was a real conversation that needed to be had because of some of the decisions that he was making with the Lions. Now you can kind of see, all right, he can evolve, he can learn. He's being a little bit more conservative. He's going for it on fourth down with big punts when he has to. He kept them. I thought it was a good game plan coming into the game. Halftime adjustments, still something that we need to work on because they adjusted to us. We did not adjust to them in this game.
Certainly, yeah. Both offenses were unchecked for a large portion of the game, but they were able to check us down the stretch and be able to shut down our passing game and make sure that we weren't getting the third down conversions that we had been. For me, this game was really, really important for Dan Campbell, low-key, because what it does now is it puts the pressure on him in a game where everyone is thinking this is the game because Green Bay struggle. Now, if they go out there and they really step on whoever they're playing, then it's a different story. Green Bay, though, I don't like their game right now. They could definitely come limping in here, and we expect everybody saying, hey, this could be the game, the year that we're better than them.
Let's get Mo in here. Sorry to interrupt you. Can you hand me that microphone? No, just slide over, Anson.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, smarter that way. That way you don't have to get back out, you know. We're going to get Mo plugged in, but one of my favorite. But finish your thought.
How you doing, man?
Finish your thought while JB gets the audio set up.
Yeah, it's kind of going to.
Jeff Iafrate. Jeff, after Mo, Jeff, sit down. I want to talk to you because you were inside Ford Field today, weren't you? Okay.
Yeah, it's going to really kind of come to a crescendo now with no wins yet except for the one against Washington. We really thought we'd have more at this point. And we're playing a team that's everyone hates. No one hates the Packers more or we don't hate a team more than the Packers at this point. And it's Aaron Rodgers. He seems susceptible. He seems down. Their team seems down as a whole. It seems like that true opportunity that we have, even though we're really bad. If we don't get that win after what happened today, the calls are going to be coming for his job really loud.
All right, well, we got to talk to Mo. Mo, you are one of the most positive people I know. You're like myself when it comes to the Lions. How are you feeling about the Lions right now?
Well, after leaving the stadium today, either way, I can't really be disappointed because I just love football and I love the Lions no matter what. But we definitely still just one play away from turning this around. So I'm going to stay positive no matter what, and it's one pride always.
I love that, man. And we got to give a shout-out to Mo's Car Company, right? Shout it out, baby. Smiling face.
Smiling Faces VIP car service. No matter where you need to go, from 1 mile to 1,000 miles, we got you covered. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Hey, man. Well, Mo, always appreciate seeing you, man. And I honestly, I wanted your opinion about the Lions because you're like me, man. You won't give up on these guys.
No way. No way we going to give up. It's still one pride to the end, my baby.
I love you, Mo. Jeff Iafrady in the building. Welcome to the postgame show live at the Brass Rail on woodwardsports.com. Thank you to everybody that's checking in the chat right now. My phone died. I've been down here all damn day long, so I can't read the chat right now. Jeff, hop on down, buddy. Look at Jeff repping the new Woodward Sports gear, too. Available at woodwardsports.com.
Woodwardsports.com, man.
Yeah. So what was the atmosphere like inside Ford Field today?
Oh, it was electric. Even though 40% of the people in there were Dolphins fans, which is a little shocking, but you saw the crowd affect the Dolphins. A lot of offside penalties. I mean, they got loud in there. It was electric, but it didn't stop Tua from throwing for 400 yards and multiple touchdowns.
Tyreek Hill's unreal.
Watching Tyreek Hill in that game, they're throwing him jump balls at 5'9", and he's getting them. So if you want to say our secondary's bad, you're probably right, but Tyreek's a hell of a player.
We're not the only secondary that Tyreek Hill has done that to.
You're right about that.
Yeah, very few people can stop.
So what were your takeaways from the game?
Honestly, not too different from earlier in the year.
Okay.
Offensively, they showed up. Defensively, you're facing an offense with Tua that's undefeated so far. It kind of played out how I expected. I thought it'd be 31-24 Dolphins. They kept it a little closer, but Vegas always knows -3.5.
Yep.
They cover.
But does this loss make you feel good? Because Anson and I, when we kicked off the show, that's what we were talking about. Like I'm just like you. This feels like earlier in the season. Like I know our defense is dog shit. Like I know that they're not good.
Right.
But our offense is awesome, and I can watch a game like that, and I can be a fan like that again.
And I agree completely. I think for me personally, as a Lions fan, being 1-5 now 1-6, I'm already looking toward the draft. So for me, these losses don't faze me as they would earlier in the year, because earlier in the year it's a different conversation.
Right.
Now I'm pretty much just accepting the fact that our defense is so bad that it's going to be hard to overcome, even with the offense we have. I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah, defense is awful.
People are going to find a way to blame Dan Campbell, though.
And Jared Goff. Some
Goff.
idiot's going to blame Jared Goff. I'm sure it's in the chat. I'm sure it's probably easy in the chat right now blaming Jared Goff for this.
Like, what you guys think? I didn't hear the 4th and 2 play, the throw to Reynolds.
I can understand it, right?
Me too.
If you're gonna go for it, if you're gonna go for the win, you put the team that you believe the most in, and that's your offense. You can't put this game in your defense's hands. You put it in Jared Goff's hands.
Right. And I agree. They didn't run the ball for me personally, you put it in your best unit's hands, you run the football.
Yeah.
But Josh Reynolds, to me, looked open. They just didn't connect. And hindsight, always 20/20. It's easy to say they didn't have to do it.
I don't have a problem putting the ball in Jared Goff's hands. My issue is where he then decided to put it. Reynolds hasn't shown up for 3 weeks. You got Swift and you got Mr. Automatic when you're trying to move the chains, and you're Jared Goff and St. Brown, and he was very, very good today. Going for that lower percentage play in the end zone, even though it was a tremendous pass and it should have been caught, I just think they should have stuck with what was working.
I wonder if that was the call, or it was a check down and Goff took it upon himself. Like, we'll have to go back, and I'm sure in Darren Campbell's press conference somebody will ask him, was that a design play call on that 4th and 2, or was it, hey, we do have a guy single coverage outside, you can take the shot, but your first read should be to check down.
I imagine that's probably what happened.
And he went for it. Now, I'll never fault somebody for going for it.
And it was funny. It seemed like our defense kept putting the Dolphins in these 3rd and long situations, and we couldn't capitalize on it.
Over and
it's
over.
like you're getting them to 3rd down, then they convert, and then it's just it's a repetitive process until they score.
That's why they kept taking on the penalties. They kept declining them. They will take the down.
Right.
Yeah. At one point, they had 3 accepted penalties and 6 declined penalties in the first quarter.
That's crazy.
My God.
9 penalties.
And we also had a 1st and 30 as well.
Yep, but we also ran 11 plays and scored 2 touchdowns as well to kick off the game. So there's a lot of positive takeaways you could take out of this.
Absolutely. A lot of positive, a lot of negative, but that's the sum of the season. What was it?
Who'd you go to the game with?
My dad, my sister, my little brother.
Nice.
My little brother after the game was so upset we lost, and I looked at him, I go, son, get used to it.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Now, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on the realistic chance of winning next week against the Packers?
I like our chances better than this week, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Just because the weapons, it's hard to contain Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Next week, they have a better chance, but Aaron Rodgers, man. As much as I want to say how they've looked, it should give us confidence. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers at Ford Field usually doesn't end well.
Are you
But
calling
I think
for
they
any
have a better chance
jobs?
this week. What'd
You
say?
calling for any jobs right now?
No.
No? What about if they lose next week?
Well, context matters, but it's tough because I want to give Dan Campbell credit for the offense and Ben Johnson, but you gotta
that.
knock them for the defense as well. So I don't think they're the most talented team. It's hard to kind of evaluate them this year. I think if you're a Chargers fan, you could probably make the case for Brandon Staley a little bit more because of the talent they have. But for Dan, it's hard. Like, he's going to get next year, but I'm going to wait till this team gets more talented, and then I could really evaluate Dan Campbell.
Fair.
At that point, it's do or die. But right now, he kind of gets a little bit of a pass.
I'm in that boat.
Mike Trump.
If they came out and laid an egg, though, today, I don't think anybody would be having that opinion. I think we'd still be hardcore. Hey, it may be time for this guy to, seriously look at what he's doing. But today he showed that the team isn't lost. They're still fighting.
Yeah.
They can put together a solid game plan. Defensively, as we've admitted
Got a lot of work.
several times, the Lions are lacking in that area. But outside of that, what else can you do? I mean, what else can you do?
My thing, though, is do I have to hear about people asking for his job all week? Because I think he got a 1 week grace period.
A reprieve,
off of this, right?
Yep, he got a
I'm with
reprieve.
you. I'm with that.
What's the chat
Good,
saying?
'cause
What's the
I'm tired of that.
WoodwardSports.com chat saying?
A lot of I see some trades Swift. Green Bay 42-3 next week.
Ah.
I love that. You see, Lions fans are the best because if you win, the entire chat, all the fans are on top of their cloud 9. You know,
Yeah.
this Swift is
16-0.
this, Jared's this, and if you lose, trade this, trade that. Speaking of trade, did you see T.J. Hockenson mouth the words coming out of his mouth when he had that big play?
Yeah.
Out we were in the arena.
That was directly at Adam Beydoun. He was looking at Adam Beydoun right in the eye and said, "Don't trade me. You call me Eric Ebron one more time, I'm going to come in that studio at Woodward Sports, 15 Mile in Woodward, and I will smack the hell out of you."
I loved it when T.J. said it. I loved it.
Because this is why. Like, it's such a ridiculous art, and I love Adam. You know that. But that is one. Hockenson being Ebron and Jim Caldwell not being a great coach, me and Adam will go to war over. I love T.J. Hockenson, and when he is a part of the usage plan, he's one of the best in the leagues. When he's not, he's still a good blocker and useful. And that's another thing. If we're only looking at receptions and yardage, you're stupid. You got to look at blocking. You got to look at scheme. You got to look at a lot of things about why this guy is valuable. Adam's trashing him when PFF has him number 4 ranked in the damn league.
He's been a huge Ebron fan since we drafted him. Don't let him fool you.
Ebron.
I'm kidding, man.
Hoof hands. Hoof hands, Ebron.
I mean, Hockenson, he doesn't drop balls the way that Ebron does, but Ebron has made a Pro Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, with the Colts. He had 1 year with the Colts. I can give him
I
that.
think Hawkinson's highs are way higher than Ebron.
I mean, I know who I'd rather have. It's certainly
absolutely.
not Ebron.
Now, can we get Hockenson to be a little more consistent? But they got to get him involved more. It's a two-way street.
The whole team needs to be more consistent.
Absolutely.
You know, you go as the team goes.
You staying around the party a little bit, Jeff?
I'm actually about to go get some food with my family. But I want to stop by.
Right here at the Brass Rail, getting some pizza.
You know what they got me, though? My brother's 11. You can't get food here.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
21.
After
It's all right.
after the club is the
One
after
day,
I want
party.
to come
man.
see my
One
family.
day.
We can get him. I can sneak him in the back, man. I know people here.
He's got the hook.
Yeah.
We'll work the magic. We'll work the magic.
No, that's fun, man. Go enjoy the city. It's a busy night in the city, and I know, not to go too far, let's take two minutes. Pistons tonight, right up the road.
I'll be there.
Oh, you're going
Back to back, baby.
Hey, the
I'm not talking
Sporgy.
drink.
The
I'll be
Sporgy. I love it.
I'm going right. I'm staying downtown. I'm going to go to LCA. I'll be there. Woodward Pistons crew will be down there.
Yeah.
Before he goes, you brought up a point that I think all three of us have a sacred moment. And mine, my grandfather, I was like, Grandpa, why don't you like the Lions anymore? You'll understand one day. So I want to know who it was for you, because it was you for your brother, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I know it was somebody for you. Who was it for you?
It was my dad.
Yeah?
My dad, and he's 60. He just turned 60 last week, and he'll still look at me and be like, can this be our year? I've been waiting long enough. We've had good years, but seeing my dad and how passionate he is, I don't even have a second team. I've never had a second team. I've always been a full Lions. Now I get to talk about him, but I got to blame my dad for that one. He got me. I was bred into this.
So
All
all of us, like, there's very few people who just elect to become Lions fans.
Right.
Like, we met a guy though earlier during the pregame show. If you go back and watch the pregame show with Adam and Maz and Booner, there was a guy from Pittsburgh who was a Lions fan. He drove up here for every Lions home game. It's like, man,
That's real.
yeah, but you have the Steelers in your backyard, and you're like, nah. It's like you have the
True
hottest chick in the
loyalty.
world next door to you, but you're like, I want to go
I'm
with the ugly
loyal.
chick. Yeah, the ugly chick next door down the street. That's the one I want.
Like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
You're watching Steelers games.
it's a little harder to get to her house. She's not as pretty, but I'm gonna take her.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for
Appreciate
stopping
you.
by.
Always.
Welcome to the Brass Rail Lions Postgame Show. Can I check the chat real quick on your phone? My phone went, the WoodwardSports.com chat. He only knows pain. They're talking about Jeff and his family. Thank God I'm not a Lions fan. Jack Harrington, you are blessed beyond words. Oh, thank you, JB. That way Jeff can get the hell out of here when he needs to. Tua is too small. Remember, don't draft Bryce, baby. I stopped caring about SOL Lions in early 2000s. I can remember the first Lions game I forgot was on, and that was during the 0-16 season.
Oh my.
Because Sundays are sacred, you know that. But I was eating at Dugan's on Woodward, and I looked up and I was like, oh my God, the Lions are playing. It's Sunday at 2:00, and I didn't even put it together. That's when I knew mentally I had checked out of that season.
Stick, I have not been to a game in 7 years.
Wow.
By design.
By design.
I support
Maybe you're the problem.
team, but I'm not giving them any money.
It's your fault. You got to go. Well, you don't. I mean, I haven't paid for tickets in 20 years.
I'll go to a game with you. But man,
Just wait for somebody to ask.
It's kind of been a little bit of a boycott. Next year, I think the boycott's going to be over. As long as they can continue to commit to what they're doing right now instead of committing to change, which is a commitment to losing.
Like Dwayne Casey said, nobody celebrates when they're pouring concrete. You only celebrate when the building's finished.
Hey.
So hopefully this building gets finished soon.
I would love it.
Jesus.
I just like to see the foundation built.
Yeah, the foundation would be nice.
We had that with a guy named Jim Caldwell. I just want to say that. Not to bring it up with a foundation of 9 and 7. That was a pretty good
Dang it,
foundation.
Stick.
That was a pretty good foundation. That was a pretty good basement.
It was a pretty solid foundation.
That was my favorite
Ad
basement.
nauseum, but you're not wrong.
Well, it still hurts, Like when you can't move on to anything better, and it's just gotten worse, and it was 9 and 7 isn't good enough. That quote still haunts me to this day, because I think all of us would kill for 9 and 7.
Right.
I mean 9 and 8 at this point because they obviously added a game.
9 and 7, you got a puncher's chance, man, because you're more years than not, you're in the playoffs.
Oh man, that was so nice. Jim Caldwell, call me. Giselle, call me. Jeff, thank you so much. Enjoy the city. Anson, scoot your ass back
Woodward
over.
Sports, let's go.
Yeah. Hopefully Dwayne Casey can pour us a win tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a party at LCA too, so make sure you check out the Woodward Pistons. They're going to be there, and they interact with the fans, do meetups and all types of stuff. So we've got a lot of stuff going on at WoodwardSports.com.
So what are your thoughts next week? Can we win that game or what?
No.
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 We can't win that game after what you saw today?
We can win any game. We also can lose any game. And this season, I've seen them lose a lot more than I've seen them win. I don't know if they have that grit. That's what I was sold on. But when you're losing close games, that means you're lacking a little, as my dad would say, sand in the ass.
Wow. Well, one of two things is going to happen next week. The Lions will play their ass off and they'll win, or Mr. Aaron Rodgers, that will be the game that turns his season around.
Turns his life around. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers going to throw for 8 touchdowns and get right back on track. But if you want to sit front row at that game next week,
I do.
We got to hook up for that. We're doing our Dan Campbell impersonation contest.
I can't wait.
All you got to do is take a video of yourself doing a Dan Campbell impersonation, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, hashtag Woodward Front Row, and we'll pick a winner from there. We got 3 winners to pick, too. There's one girl that has already put one in where she's like all bulked up and like doing the Dan Campbell, shaking out the pants and stuff. So some people are putting some effort into it. I want to see everybody that's watching right now, because it'd be sweet to sit front row.
Yeah.
Like, they're the seats where they jump in the stands. They're jumping into your arms.
Yeah, absolutely. Winner, over in that corner section, huh?
Yeah, in the end zone. In the end zone.
Okay. I'm down, man. But I can't win.
No,
and I can't do the impression.
I was going to say,
you got an impression?
I was going to say, let me see your Dan Campbell.
Man.
You see Annie Agar's
Come
Dan
on,
Campbell?
man. As long as you throw a man in at the end.
Man. Did you see Annie Agar's costume? It said Ann Campbell because it's Dan without the D. I love Annie Agar. She
well played.
Annie Agar, call me.
Very well played.
No, she's fantastic. But yeah, we're gonna enter her in the contest. Maybe we'll give her some front row seats. But yeah, get into this contest next week. It's against the Green Bay Packers. We got your front row seats. Just impersonate Dan Campbell. Ooh, man, I got to admit, I feel better about this loss than I have in like the past 3 to 4 weeks, honestly.
Well, we completely lost our identity for 2 weeks. We thought we had this exciting, fun team to watch. It was going to be close. They were going to be, in it till the end in most games. And they just disappeared on us for 2 weeks, and it was very, very concerning. And this week we saw them come back. We saw, the health of those 2 top guys in our offense led to an overall game where we're not only able to just kind of put some points up, but we're able to control the flow. We're able to match their time of possession until towards the end there. And that just takes so much pressure off of our defense. Now, I really would have liked to have seen last week's defense show up this week. So maybe we can get a little bit of that against Green Bay with a whole lot of this offense, and we can show the grit down the stretch to finally get W number 2. I think it's happening. I'm calling it last week, call it this week. I'm sticking to it.
I'd love to see it. I mean, we've only been able to celebrate 1 win this season. It came so early. I thought it was going to happen more often. But
you and me both, brother.
Not so much. It's like, hey, here you go, and that's all you're going to get. I hope you enjoyed your 1 win for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want more. I want to get greedy. I want these guys to get greedy. Can we talk about Jamal Williams? We haven't talked about Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
breaking Barry Sanders' record. 8 touchdowns in the first 7 games, the most ever scored by any Lions player.
Okay. What I was thinking about was how bad he must have been chomping at the bit all week long to get a touch in the red zone.
Oh.
Not fumble it.
He'll never fumble again. He'll never fumble again in the red zone.
Well, you saw the quote. We posted on Woodward Sports. If you can't hold on to the ball, you got no place to stay. That's not the exact words, but you can't play with us.
Hey,
You're out in the street.
Don't fool me.
So if he fumbles there, you think he's out on the street? I don't think so.
No.
But no, it's nice to see him get in. He's been a real great surprise this year, but I'll be honest, I'd much rather him have half as many touchdowns because it means that Swift has been healthy, it means our offense has been healthier, and it means that we've got 1 more win this year.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
I like Swaggy. I think he did cost us the game last week in multiple ways. There was another play where he missed a block that could have been a touchdown as well. And it was good to see him rebound. He's the type of guy that has that mental fortitude where it's not going to shut him down. But I also like Dan Campbell keeping the confidence in him and being like, hey, even though you fumbled when it cost us a damn game and like right from the 6-inch line, you're our short yardage guy. I still have faith in you. Yeah. Here's the football when we need it. And he rewarded Dan Campbell today.
Sure. And overall, he's being asked to do too much. He's a top 6 complimentary back in the NFL at this point, you know. And that's fantastic for what it is, but when you're asking him to start taking reps and to start downfield blocking assignments and blitz pickups as much as you're asking him to do it, he's bound to make a mistake. And that's why so many teams in the NFL are running 2 and 3 and 4 back committees, because you have specialized guys. And he's not an overall great back. He's very good at a lot of things. But you ask him again to do too much and he starts making mistakes. Getting Swift out there is just so much more than adding another back. You're adding a true dynamic threat that the defense has to scheme for, that opens up so many other things for other guys on our team. People aren't sweating Swaggy right now. You know, no. They know they have to honor him and they have to stay honest, but they're not scheming for him. When Swift and St. Brown are healthy, that's the focal point of the defense. When you take those away, you're focusing on complementary players, and that equals a loss.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. Not to switch gears completely, how you feeling after yesterday with your Spartans at Michigan? We were out in Ann Arbor doing our pregame
I'd
show.
I'd like to go on air and apologize for Spartans nationwide, man. It's a disgusting display. I'm sure
you're talking about the beatdown in the tunnels.
Yeah, I don't even care about the game.
I was talking about the game.
I want to address something else because it hasn't sat well with me, man. And I hope that they're really taken care of and they're disciplined to the utmost. There is absolutely zero place for that in any kind of sports. You saw what happened in the NBA. Now, it wasn't involving fans, but at the same point when you're endangering players like that, it should be taken at the same heart. I have no problem with Harbaugh calling, bringing in law enforcement. Take it to the nth degree. We can't have a repeat of that anywhere in the NFL or in football again, especially at the college level. Come on, guys.
Yeah, well, it was an unfortunate, and I thought it was a great atmosphere out there in Ann Arbor yesterday. Like really you were talking, you were wearing your Michigan State shirt, and you never, no disrespect.
Amazing.
Unfortunately, it winds up in the tunnel. All right, well, here the Lions are. I mean, back on Lions talk. Here we are. This is what we thought they were.
Let's leave that conversation.
We had to talk about it. It was the biggest game of the weekend, and then the fight has become the story everybody's texting me about all day long.
Can we start, though, we're talking about how it's supposed to be this moment of coaching for Tucker, and we come out, we get a first down in 2 plays, looking really good, slow, methodical offense, and then a 7-yard play after that, 3 great plays, and then 3 straight penalties? How can you come out and have a team that's supposedly focused and you're this kind of a coaching sensation, and then have your guys go into the locker room and do that? I'll be honest with you, man. I don't even want to say what I was
I was going to say, I thought we were only going to spend 30 seconds on that. Now I got Anson all worked up. NFL Draft 2023. People are saying they want us to talk about that.
I thought we were doing that till week 10.
No, in the WoodwardSports.com chat, that's what they wanted to talk about. It says,
don't go quarterback, please.
Let's talk draft. So
no quarterback.
You would not want Stroud.
There's too many quarterbacks in this class. It is so crazy deep. The quarterback class that's coming out next year is so exciting. Crazy deep. There are going to be guys going in the 3rd and 4th round. At the very least in the 2nd. We have 2 third-round picks. One of them we can spend on a developable quarterback. Jared Goff, again, when things are good, he is an above-average quarterback. I mean, fantasy-wise, he was top 6 for go and get your defense. He's got more weapons coming in next year. You know, Jared Goff is going to have plenty of weapons to work with. Focus on the defense. Don't create a controversy. Don't put anything on Dan Campbell. I mean, Dan Campbell would be a fool to draft him. Let's talk that. I mean, you bring in that quarterback controversy in a year that you're going to get some W's, you're gone, bro.
So are you sticking with Goff then?
Absolutely. I'm happy with Goff. You heard.
So are you re-signing Goff?
Oh, doesn't he have another year? Didn't he do an extension?
2 left.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens next year. He's got to win some games.
Okay, so you'd like Goff play out one more year next year, then maybe go draft your quarterback?
I think one of their third-round picks has to be – you go first 2 round picks or first 2 picks in the first round, defense. Second round, defense. Third round, depending on where it is, one of those picks has to be a quarterback. Doesn't have to be, but I'd really like to see it happen.
Okay. Yeah, I want defense. Defense.
Yeah.
Draft defense. All the time. Let's go. Sign some defensive free agents. What else do we need to add to this offense?
Well,
honestly, what else do we need to add? Nothing. You need to add nothing to this offense.
Jackson?
Okay. I'm down for an upgrade with Lamar Jackson. If we're talking that upgrade, I'm okay.
Yeah.
If I'm talking a question mark college quarterback, I may not be okay with that. But we don't need to spend anything else on the offense. We're getting Jamison Williams. We don't even know what the hell he's going to be yet. And if he's even close to Chris Olave or a Garrett Wilson that came out this year, if he's in that class, we got ourselves our WR1, right? We got that locked in. You have your Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have your tight end. You have a top 5 line. You have 2 good running backs. Swift, get with Amon-Ra St. Brown's dad and learn how to stay healthy.
Okay.
Like, we got to make that happen. It has to happen. So, yeah, if I'm talking 2023 NFL draft for the Detroit Lions, defense, first round, defense, second first round pick.
Okay.
Defense.
Okay,
and then go spend
round.
30-40 million on defense. Defense.
I'm in. But my question for you is the 3rd and 4th round, we've got 3 picks, right? 2 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th.
Yep.
In fantasy football, we know that there's years that are loaded with certain type of talent. Last year, or this year, should I say, you knew I was a big fan of all these wide receivers, and it's come true. There's like 8 amazing number 1s that came out this year that are future number 1s if they're not already ascended to that position. This season, or next season in college football coming out for the draft, I see some tremendous quarterbacks. And it's going to see guys slide into that 2nd or 3rd round because when you start positioning teams and predicting who they're going to take, a lot of it's based on whether they need a quarterback or not. So only certain teams are willing to spend that first round. It means that tremendous quarterbacks are going to slip. And they're going to be around in that 3rd and 4th. Would you use one of those picks?
Defense.
All of them.
Defense.
Everyone.
Defense.
Every single one.
Oh, defense.
Fair enough.
Oh.
I'm going to come up with a list of names of some college quarterbacks that I believe will be around in the 3rd and 4th that I want to talk about next week.
I wouldn't be opposed in the 4th round, something like that, trying to steal one. But who knows who's going to be available? You know, like look how far the best quarterback in the draft this year, outside of Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis slipped.
Yeah.
And he's starting for Tennessee.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to that one.
I know Tom Mazaway from Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz is going to be watching that with bated breath, and he's a big Malik fan.
Yeah, shout out to Braylon. Congratulations for your win yesterday, my friend.
Yeah, it was really cute, you two together out there.
I had a blast with Bray
Michigan versus
yesterday.
Michigan State. Braylon schooled your ass. That's okay.
There's a lot of schooling going on both ways.
I just like messing with you. Let's see. Goff is good. He's trying to play his way out of town. I don't think so. WoodwardSports.com chat.
Not a bad idea. Oh, man.
Let's see.
I
Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are with this team next year. It won't matter. Nothing will change. It just shows you how bad Campbell really is.
I want to go back to that last one.
Okay.
You think there's some excitement on Goff's part to do it here, or do you think he wants to split?
Where else is he going to go?
There's value for him.
Here's my biggest.
The Colts.
Here's my
Colts.
Oh yeah, because they just ran through Carson Wentz. They ran through Matt Ryan. What are they going to do?
Carson.
The Colts are
Carson
becoming
Wentz was good last year. He left.
Colts are becoming where old quarterbacks go to die.
You put him behind that offensive line with the talent that they're amassing over there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, not to say that he'd be successful there, but I could see them wanting him.
You know what I see happening with Jared Goff, and I don't think a lot of people realize this? It's a team called the San Francisco 49ers. They had a pretty good quarterback that took them to a Super Bowl. Missed a couple throws. He did.
Fair.
Could have cost them the game.
Fair.
And what have they been doing? They've been trying to upgrade. They've been talking about trading this guy. They drafted another quarterback.
Fair.
And how's that worked out? You're right back to the girl that brought you to the dance in the first place. So, that's what I envision Jared Goff turning into.
Jimmy
right?
G, I see that all day. Alex Smith.
Jared G.
All of those guys, they're very similar in the fact that, if you surround them in a right situation, they can be very good. But they're also the type of guy that's athletically challenged a little bit to the point where if things are crumbling around them, they look really, really bad.
But what's crazy is we're talking about Goff in this situation, right? Our defense did not force one punt.
I know. I was going to bring that up.
Let's.
Terrible.
So as much as everybody
we
wants
didn't have
to
a punt
talk
in the
about
first half.
Oh, great. So as much as everybody wants to talk about Goff, what quarterback can win in the NFL if you have a defense that doesn't force a punt? If anybody can get into that analytics and look it up, I would love to know the record of the teams that defenses don't force punts if they win and who the quarterback was. Because I don't even think Pat Mahomes can overcome that. I don't think a Tom Brady can overcome that. I don't think Daniel Jones can overcome that. And yes, I said Daniel Jones. I love Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes. Sleeper,
is he better
baby.
than Patty Pennies?
Pat Mahomes? No, he is not. Shout out to Flannel.
Hashtag Patty Pennies.
Shout out to Flannel
Heard it
Sam.
here first.
Flannel
Woodward
Sam
Sports.
is back tomorrow on the Woodward Sports Network. He'll be on. He got married, so it's a new flannel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are they matching flannels now? Is that how they do it?
I don't think so.
Will their babies be flanneled?
They better be.
Is it
Swallow
dog
that
flannel?
baby in flannel. WoodwardSports.com chat. Defense after he draft a quarterback out number 1.
Ugh.
Yeah, where was Hutchinson number?
prescription?
Where was Hutchinson today is another question in the WoodwardSports.com chat. He showed up for a couple halves here and there. I don't know about Aiden Hutchinson. Is it a product of our defense sucks so bad they can double and triple team him? That could be it.
If you give him a will next year, on the other side of the line, I think the two of those could be one of the best tandem defensive end tandems in the league next year.
Who are you talking about?
The number 1 pick in the draft next year by the Lions.
Who is it?
I'm spacing on his last name right now. Will. It's like Will Adams. It's like the Will Smith or something. It's the most common last name ever.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Somebody help me out here. It'll be in the draft. In the
Golston?
chapter.
Will Golston?
No. They like him to go number 1. They're defensive end. It's Will Smith, Will Johnson, Thomas.
Either way.
Yeah. You weren't helping me with my plan. Words there. But give him a will. Go defense. Let's do it.
All right. I'm with you. That's how it's got to be next year, just because our defense is so bad, and I think our offense is good. Thank you to everybody who joined us in the WoodwardSports.com chat today. Another Lions loss. On to the Green Bay Packers next week. We will be here at the Brass Rail, so make sure you stop by for pre- and post-game next week. Love to hang out. Love to party with you. It's always a good time. I mean, the party's still going on. They got the patio open. At least the weather's good here, right? We got that going for us as Detroit Lions fan. We got nice weather.
It's a great party. Honestly, it's a hats off to Detroit fans. It doesn't matter who's losing. All 4 of us could be losing. We still come out and have a great time, man.
Hey, when they suck, we drink. When they win, we drink. Either way, we drink it here at the Brass Rail. So you guys have a great time. WoodwardSports.com. Adam will be on tomorrow with the Morning Woodward Show with Jeff. And, of course, the one, the only, Mr. Fish. I cannot thank this man enough. His name is JB Smooth, as the
He held
ladies
it
call
down
him.
in Ann Arbor yesterday, too.
And this kid has held it down all week with me, setting up broadcasts all the way from Dearborn to Sterling Heights to Ann Arbor to Detroit. We were all over the place this week with Woodward Sports, and it's been a very fun week. Shook a lot of hands, met a lot of people. Thank you guys for spreading the word about us. Make sure you tell friends to follow us, to like us, to share everything that we do. We appreciate it. And yeah, I just want a damn winning team so this network can
Big
party.
W next week, Stick. Don't worry, baby. Big W next week.
I'm talking about a winning team in general. Just so this, the party that Woodward Sports is going to bring to this city when we have a winner.
Yes.
Because how we party with our losers right now, pretty fun. We have a good time. But damn.
I'm trying to figure out who this Will guy is still.
Well, we'll worry about that later. Have a great one. We are out from the brass rail. Tomorrow, make sure you tune in to woodwardsports.com for all the live shows. Bye.
Go Lions!